Hi, welcome back to Culinary Adventures. Man, have we got birds of all sizes. We got plump little Cornish game hens, and we also have these really nice, juicy, thick chicken breasts. First dish we're doing is chicken cacciatore, an old family recipe from the BarBeQue woman side of the family. All we have to do is sweat some vegetables. We got some onions, some green peppers, some mushrooms, some garlic. We're gonna just sweat them in a pan, and we got our chicken already in an aluminum pan, really nice and easy. I'm using this pan because obviously when it's done, you put it on the plate and you toss it into the garbage can, or rinse it out and recycle it. But anyway, for those of you who don't know how to do garlic, okay, garlic's really easy. And you could also take out your aggressions really well, okay, if you had a bad day at work. All you have to do with a clove of garlic is put the chef knife down, of course the blade facing away, and put this guy here and smash him, okay? And here's the peel. I mean, you're left with smashed garlic. And like I said, I mean, it's a really good exercise in frustration if you want to, have a little bit of stress during your day. But that's basically what we're doing, and then we're taking the vegetables, we're going to sweat them off, put them all in this thing, this dish, and then the secret ingredient we'll get to later. So I'm just going to heat some olive oil on here, and I'm using regular olive oil, not extra virgin, because I think extra virgin for this recipe would be a little bit too heavy. And I like a lot of olive oil, so if I see that it's a little bit dry, I'll add a little bit more. But what we did was we've got the green peppers. We just coarse dice, or a chop if you want, because they're all going to cook down in the oven along with the chicken. But we're just doing this to bring out some of the natural caramelization. And I've got some onions, same story, chopped really nice. Nothing too fancy, it's more peasant. It's more of a peasant comfort food type dish. And it's really good if you're in a hurry, because you could do this, you could prepare it ahead of time, put it in the refrigerator, and then when you get home from work, or have one of your kids put it in the oven at 375 degrees for about 50 minutes, and you're ready to go. And our mushrooms. And these are just white mushrooms, sliced. Yeah, I think I got enough oil in here. And we're just sweating them. We're not really going to brown these guys. We're just bringing out the natural flavors. The onion has, your natural sugars. And the mushrooms, if you do it this way, you're getting rid of some of the moisture, and that's good because you are going to be baking this. And then the garlic, and believe me, we're not shy about the garlic. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. I think 4 cloves will be nice. And when garlic, we're just putting the garlic in here to fry, but the garlic, after it's being baked in the oven, gets really, really nice and soft, and the flavor's mellow. And if you're lucky enough with your serving to get one of those cloves of garlic, you'll see what I mean, because you could take that clove of garlic and smush it on a piece of French bread or Italian bread, and I'm telling you, it is heaven. In fact, there's recipes out there where you take the whole clove of garlic and you cut the bottom root off, you wrap it in foil with some olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and throw it in your oven, 350 degrees for 45 minutes. You could just smush that garlic right out of its skin and spread it on anything, or use it in like a hummus or a type of dip. So it's really, really a great way to eat garlic. But here, we're just putting the cloves in whole. Gives you a nice flavor. And also, It's really key. If you got a recipe that says, you know, put the garlic in, garlic will burn pretty easy. So what I like to do is put my other vegetables in, like the onions and the peppers first, and then the garlic, because then there's enough moisture in there where the garlic won't burn, okay? Because you're adding it to the already existing moisture that exudes from these vegetables. Okay, I'm gonna let that go. And when we opened, I was in the midst of seasoning these chicken breasts, and I'm using salt and cracked black pepper, and then we got some other spices like rosemary, dried oregano, and dried basil. And I like a lot of pepper. And if you like a lot of it, use a lot. Can't really have enough black pepper in my opinion. And then we've got some dried oregano. And as you can see, these aren't precise measurements, because I just like to rip and run and do this until it looks good, you know. There's some dried rosemary, and here's some dried basil. There's something about a kitchen with onions and peppers just frying. This is really easy and simple. Okay, now these vegetables are basically where we want them. And I'm going to just take them, put them on top of the chicken, and just spread it out a little bit. These are going to cook down in the pan as we put it in the oven. So that does its, you know, cook thing. Now, what are we going to put in there to make it taste good in addition to this? Well, we've got some marinara sauce. You can make your own. You could use it, you know, by the jar. It's totally up to you. Put that in there. That's all going to cook down too. And a little bit of red wine. Now, you know, years ago the old saying was you use red wine with dark meats, you know, or red meats or lamb, things like that, and you use white wine with chicken and fish. Well, I think that's been all throughout the years. I think that's all been cast aside, because basically you use whatever wine tastes good to you. Another thing is, if you're going to use wine to cook with, use wine that you can drink, and not wine that's says cooking wine or cooking sherry, because all that is bottom of the barrel wine with a lot of salt and things added to it. But yeah, basically the red wine works really well with this dish. And then I'm putting some chicken broth just for some additional flavor and moisture. You could use water, but I think chicken broth works a lot better. I think it gives you a better flavor. All right, now I know we got one in the oven because I put it in there. So let's take a look. Oh yeah. Now, one other secret ingredient, pepperoncinis. You take the pepperoncinis out of the jar, you throw them in here, any which way. I love these things. And the brine. A little bit of the brine, you know, the liquid that comes in that jar. It's an acidy brine, but God, it adds so much flavor. Oh yeah. Oh man, this looks heavenly. That looks beautiful. And as you can tell, it's all nicely brown. Everything's cooked down. You got this nice broth in there, and you can use this broth as a gravy. But you know why? It's nice. It's got a good consistency. Some of the chicken fat cooked down with it. And I think 2 of these guys for service would be nice. And I'm going to get some of these vegetables in there. Oh yeah. Some onion, some peppers. This is grand, I'm telling you. I knew it smelled good, but we hardly peeked. All right. Chicken cacciatore. Easy, delicious. The next dish we're going to be doing after break is the Cornish game hen. So hang loose, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Culinary Adventures. Well, our second birdie is going to be put in this pan too, much like the first one, but we're doing it Athenian style. So we're going to be flavoring them with similar spices and herbs, but we're also going to be adding a different type of wine, drizzle them with olive oil, and we're also going to top them off with some lemon slices. So I've got a nice lemon. I'm going to just roll this on the board a little bit to bring out some more juices. I'm going to cut the edges off, because we don't need that, that's for sure. And I'm just going to slice this guy. And same thing, what we're going to do is we're going to top him off with some whole garlic cloves. And again, those garlic cloves are going to cook down, and they're really like buried treasures after you get it out, because it's in that broth. You got the fat from the bird melting into the wine and the olive oil, and it's just giving you an excellent, excellent flavor-packed broth. Now, we've got this little game hen, and these are available all over the place, and he used to, run like this, this being the top, and I'm sure he flapped his little wings, but he's incapacitated right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take him and we're going to slice him and basically butterfly him. And this is really easy. You just take your chef knife and cut it all the way through, and you'll hear a snap. Nice and easy. And you take them out, and that's basically what we're looking for. So I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to put him in my pan, and we're going to spice his little skin, his little jacket, a little salt, a little for some good luck, pepper, turn him around, a little bit more salt. And you could, if you like a lot of black pepper, a lot of salt, by all means, use it. That's no problem. Okay, now we got our herbs. Got some oregano. Got some rosemary. And these are all dried herbs that we're using. And we got some dried basil. And what I like to do with dry herbs, you could take them and just, when you take them off of your container and that, just, twist them, grind them in your fingers. It brings out the natural oils. And you can really smell it. It smells great. And we're just going to take a little bit more and get his little jacket. I call his skin his jacket. Yeah, we'll use it all. And the rosemary and the oregano. Just kind of grind it between your thumb and your finger. Okay, now we've got some olive oil, and we're going to take this and just drizzle it on them. And we're using regular olive oil. Usually when I use extra virgin, it's for salads or dipping into bread and things like that. I find why waste good extra virgin olive oil to cook with when they make, regular olive oils that aren't as pungent, and the extra virgin won't stand up to the heat that well. So, and we've got a blush wine. You could use a rosé, you could use a white zin, whatever you have. But I find that the blush wine adds a really nice fruity flavor to this, and especially if we're going to top him off with some lemon, because the lemon is going to give us a little bit of tartness. So the wine, I'm just putting it in there, and if you could drink the wine, perfect, because that's what you're looking for. You want to use a wine that that you can drink. Don't use a wine that says cooking wine, because it has all sorts of salts and things like that, and it's not very good wine to begin with. So get a good bottle of wine. Doesn't have to be the most expensive bottle, and if you could drink it, cook with it for sure. Now I'm taking some whole cloves, and I'm going to put them in this cavity here. And I like a lot of garlic, so you know what? I'm going to indulge. And I think that was like 4 cloves. And what we do is, now the nice thing is you could do this in advance, okay? If you wanted to do this and use this basic marinade, you could do that. I suggest, for our purposes right now, I'm using disposable aluminum. If you want to marinate things for a longer period of time, use a non-reactive dish like a Tupperware or a Pyrex, something like that, or stainless steel like a hotel pan that we have used before. But if you use this and you marinate, you're going to get a reaction between the acids, being the wine, and the aluminum. I like using it in this case because I could just take it, cook it, put it on the plate, and rinse it out and put it right into the recycling bin. Or if I'm doing this dish like on a camping trip, or if I'm out fishing for the day, or vacation, I could take these and just toss them. But use a non-reactive dish, and this can be done in advance and marinated in the refrigerator for up to 48 hours. Of course, the longer you marinate, the more flavors are going to infuse. Now, I've got one of these guys in the oven, and before I put him in, I'm just going to take some of these lemon slices, and I'm just going to put them right in here, and the lemon's going to cook down. And I just put it right in this cavity here. And just kind of overlap. It doesn't have to be fancy. However you want to do it, put one over there. And the lemon adds a tartness, but it also adds a real nice mouthfeel. So you'll get that mouthfeel when everything cooks down. So place smells great. Why don't we take a look in the oven and see what we got? And of course, I'm not going to disappoint. Oh yeah. I could hear the accolades now. Perfect. And I don't cover them with foil. Okay, let the juices evaporate naturally. This is really hot, but I put it in 375. Cook it for 45 minutes to 50 minutes, depending on the temperature. Your regulator in your oven. Some vary. And then for the last 2 or 3 minutes, I put it on broil. And broil gives you this nice golden. The skin, his nice little jacket we were talking about, is nice and golden, and he's ready to rock and roll to this plate here. So, let's take this guy. You stay right there. Ooh, yeah. And maybe a lemon. Or 2, eh? Oh man, this smells great. And some of this broth, it's all concentrated. It's all cooked down. And I see some of the hen fat on the top, you know, because fat rises to the top. And man, it is packed with flavor. This is an awesome, easy dish. Here are some. In fact, these are the cloves I was talking about, those garlic cloves that cook down. And man, those have got to be really mellow and really great tasting. There you have it. That's my Athenian game hen, Cornish game hen recipe. And simple game hens are available all over. Supermarkets have them, your meat market has them. You know, they come and they're individually wrapped. They come 24 ounces. I think that's 1.5 pounds a piece. So if you're a big eater, you can eat one. If you're not a big eater, split it in half, and then you got, you know, a meal or a snack, you know, the following day or later on that day. So we're going to take a quick break and come right back. Hang loose. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Culinary Adventures. Man, we have been cooking birds aplenty. Easy recipes. You got the herbs, the spices, and all the veggies and everything going into that oven. The place smells wonderful. A bounty of flavor. But you know what? We're pairing these foods with wine, okay? And the old saying was, you pair red wine with red meats or lamb and white wine with poultry and fish, okay? That, you know, you could follow those old rules, but there's new rules too. And I say, and a lot of people say, you drink whatever wine you like with whatever food you like. And in saying that, we've got 2 selections from the Goose Cross Cellars in California. And for the chicken cacciatore, we're doing the 96 Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. It is an excellent wine. It's got taste like Bing cherries, a little bit of cranberry. It's tart. It's got a nice finish that the bouquet is just wonderful. And for the game hens, we've got a 1996 Chardonnay that is really fruity. It's got a really nice flavor of citrus to go along with the lemons that we used here with the game hens. It's an excellent, excellent wine also. But, you know, you could pick these up. You could try them if you like them, you know, or if you maybe you might like the red with the hen and the white with the cacciatore. There are no rules. It's totally up to you. So I'm Larry Gerber, the Barbecue Man. Try these recipes. They'll be at our website at barbequeman.com. And I want to wish you all a great culinary adventure. We'll see you next time. Take care.